be on the Lord's day that He set aside for us to have a holy gathering. This is the day that the Lord has made for us to come together and deal with His Word, try to edify yourself in the word of the Lord. This is the reason we're here. We're here to prepare ourselves for the coming of the Lord. And this is the purpose of this gathering. We didn't come here. You know, some people be saying that the Israel of God ain't the friendliest place, but we really didn't come here to socialize. We come here to learn how to save ourselves from this untoward world. You know, and believe me, it's so much bad teaching and stuff that they claim to be the Word of God. You know, you need to pay real close attention to what's being put on the table. You know, I always investigate people's, the Bible said in these last days there's going to be many false prophets come along. So I invite you to always check me out when I stand before you, you know. But with me, what's gonna be really hard to check me out, because I'm gonna read the book to you. And if the book say it, we gonna read it. But if the book don't say it, we ain't gonna read it. And that's what we do here at the Israel of God. Now the lesson we gonna deal with today is really a simple lesson, you know. And it's, you know, sometimes brothers think they have to put a hard lesson together, but sometimes it's the little simple stuff that people really don't understand. The lesson we're going to deal with today is titled, Thy Kingdom Come. You know, because reading why this is a simple lesson to the people that's been around here, but to the world, they still don't have a clue that the kingdom is coming. You're not going to the kingdom when you die or in this next regeneration. The kingdom is right here on earth. And we just going to show you just how simple this lesson is, but we just don't pay attention to what we read, or either we not read. One of the two. Because if you pay attention to what you read, you'll see that it's never I'm talking not one time, like I told, I think I said, I'm going to up to Annie. I said, if you can read in this book one time where anybody promise you they're going to take you to heaven, I'm up to $1,000 if you can read. I can go higher than that, can't I? I could go up to 100,000 because they ain't going to be able to read it. That's a safe bet, you know. But guess what? The whole world, you go to funerals, man, they go to heaven so many times in a funeral, boy, they getting two wings, they flying off to heaven, but ain't nobody reading the book. I'm going to show you, we're going to start this in Job, because God said, surely I would do nothing but reveal my secret to who? To my prophet. Let's just see what Job said about this kingdom. See that he know anything what the kingdom was going to be. Job 19, and we're going to start with verse 23. And like I was saying, I hadn't even noticed. I see you guys got cameras down there, so we want everybody to kind of be aware of the wiring on the floor. Make sure you don't trip over it when you're moving around, or either when you walk by, since they video and kind of duck down for you won't blot out my nice face. You know, so they want you kind of, you know, duck down when you go in front of the camera. So we're going to deal with this thing here. It's good to see you guys getting the videos and stuff. Only something about everybody getting the videos, everybody on YouTube now. I can't wear the same outfit back-to-back weeks. I be down here, I can't wear this next week if I go to Florida. Because everybody on YouTube. Now I got my wife, I'm about to budget me a whole nother wardrobe because everybody on YouTube now. You know, I made that mistake when I went to Florida and Phoenix. I wore the same outfit, and it's on YouTube. They can't even enjoy the videos. That guy ain't got no clothes. But we'll start this in Job, Job 19 and verse 23. Job 19 and 23. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that my words were not written. Oh, that they were printed in a book.
Now Job says, my words. I don't know what, he didn't know what he was saying, but his word is printed in a book. The book that we call the Bible. He's, oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book. Skip down to verse 25 and go ahead.
For I know that my Redeemer liveth.
He said, I know that my Redeemer liveth. Go ahead.
And that he shall stand at the latter day upon this earth.
He gonna stand in the latter days where?
Upon the earth.
Upon the earth. This is the Redeemer. Go ahead.
And now, after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God.
He said, yet in my flesh. He's letting you know, I'm not going to see him. You know, some Israelites think we going to see God, but we going to see him in our kids. This man letting you know he going to see God. Not through my great-grandkid. He said, I'm going to see God, although this flesh going to be destroyed in the grave. But I'm going to see God. Go ahead.
Verse 27, whom I shall see for myself.
He said, I'm going to see him for myself. Go ahead.
And my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me.
But he said he's going to see him on the latter part of where? The earth. Now let's go into Psalm 37. I'm going to show you just everywhere you look, they talking about on the earth. So why is there so much confusion? What is all this confusion coming about going to heaven when you cannot read it in the pages of the book? Psalm 37, and we just going to pick it up at verse 7. Psalm 37, and we're going to pick it up at verse 37. At 7. Psalm 37 and 7. Okay, go ahead.
Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Go ahead.
Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off.
Now the evildoers going to be cut off. Go ahead.
But those that wait upon the Lord,
now these are the ones that wait upon the Lord. What they going to get?
They shall inherit the earth.
They going to go to heaven.
They shall inherit the earth.
They shall inherit the earth. You see how plain that is? Do I need to interpret that? I'm talking, the word of God is simple. Skip down to, what verse was that?
That was end of verse 9.
Okay, well keep reading. Go ahead.
For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be.
Now the wicked he gonna cut off from the earth. Go ahead.
Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be.
Go ahead.
But the meek shall inherit the earth.
Shall inherit the earth.
And shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace.
Now, if you read this here, who going to heaven?
Nobody.
I'm talking, the meek going to inherit the earth. We just read earlier that the righteous going to inherit the earth. Skip down to verse 20 and go ahead. Let's see if we find some more people that going to inherit the earth. Verse 20, go ahead.
But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Lord shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume, into the smoke shall they consume away. Verse 21, the wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth.
Read that verse again, because there's people that owe me some money. Go ahead, read that verse again.
Verse 21.
Who borrow and don't pay back?
The wicked.
The wicked.
Borroweth.
And pay, go ahead.
And payeth not again. But the righteous showeth mercy and giveth.
See, I was telling brother, I said, people don't know, but a few people borrowed some money at the class from me. Didn't pay me back. So what are they? According to the word.
Wicked.
They wicked. You know, you don't borrow money from people and don't pay them back. Because when you come to me, you say, can I borrow it? You know what borrowing means? That means you have to return it back. But I don't be saying somebody might owe somebody some money and then say, that's somebody you must have told. I better move on. I'll be saying, just pay your bills. You won't be wicked. Go ahead, verse 22.
Verse 22. For such as be blessed of him shall inherit the earth.
But such Such as be blessed of the Lord gonna do what?
Inherit the earth.
Inherit the earth. Go ahead.
And they that be cursed of him shall be cut off.
They that be cursed of him gonna be cut off. Skip down to verse 28. I'm just showing you how everywhere you read it's talking about it's gonna be right here on the earth. I'm just showing you how simple the word of God is. But I told a brother this and showed him all this, and then he straight asked me, well, man, when you get to heaven, I said, brother, I told you, we're not going to heaven. I tell him this every day, because he was a big holy roller on the CB radio at work. And every day I said, brother, I don't want to go to heaven. You know, that's why them people be up in the UB out there, you passing out these little flyers. Say, if you die today, do you know you're going to go to heaven? I said, I hope I don't. You should see the look on their face. I said, I don't want to go to heaven. And man, because the lack of understanding, brothers and sisters. What verse we at?
Verse 28.
Go ahead.
For the Lord loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off.
Go ahead.
The righteous shall inherit the land.
What land? The earth is the land. Go ahead.
And dwell therein forever.
How long they going to dwell there?
Forever.
Man, you see how, I'm just saying, we ain't even got into the lesson, but you see how many times, the prophet's writing that this thing going to be right here on the earth. Now let's go into the Lord's Prayer that people say and don't even pay attention to what they say. Matthew 6. I didn't even tell y'all what that was there, right? Matthew 6. And we're going to start at verse 5. Matthew 6 and verse 5. Okay, go ahead.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are. For they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
He said they going to have their rewards. Go ahead.
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into thy closet.
Now he ain't, some people think, well, my closet's not that big. No, he is saying, in other words, enter into the privacy of your home, wherever you going to pray. If you want to pray and stand over in the corner. In other words, he said, you ain't got to, that's what killed me when people act like, because we was in Buffalo, New York. I was down there with Bowie, and Bowie did the lesson, and he had and Brother Hal had invited about 4 preachers. So one of the preachers after class asked me, he said, when do y'all do y'all worship service? I said, this is it. Because he assumed, do I need to come together in a group to worship the Lord? I can worship the Lord in the privacy of my own. Ain't nobody never told you we got to be in a group of us jumping up and screaming and hollering. Man, I be at home reading this book sometime. I be glad my wife go, because I be talking to myself and just enjoying the Lord.
Amen.
I ain't got to be in no group to do that. People assume, because we ain't up jumping and stuff. We come here to learn how to save ourselves. I'm telling you, what really gets me excited is when I read the Bible and I understand it. I used to read the Bible, just read. Until I got that guide. Now when I read, that guide will set me up, I understand what I'm reading. But he say, enter into your closet. He ain't necessarily talking about you got to squeeze in there. I'm going to take some of my clothes out of here. No. He is saying, in other words, just be your prayer can be private. Okay, go ahead.
And when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions, as the heathen do, for they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
Now, some people just say the same. God ain't hard of hearing. Lord, I need you to bless my family. Lord, just say what you have to say. Lord, I need your mercy and grace. The Lord is not hard of hearing. Now, some people think, well, if you'd ask the Lord, should you ask him again? Yeah, you can ask him again. But you just don't keep in the next, maybe you can ask him tomorrow. Somebody, well, you didn't believe. No, I ain't not. Hey, what about what was the young lady that was praying, wanted to have a child, and the guy thought she was drunk because she was praying, so she was praying every day. But when he said no repetition, just when you in the prayer, just don't get off in the repetition thing, And you got to believe you gonna get what you're praying for too. Go ahead. Verse 8.
Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things you have need of before you ask him.
He know what you need before you ask them. But you know how we are. I didn't get it today. I'm gonna ask him again tonight when I get on my knee. I don't think you be bugging him. He know this man is impatient. But I tell you what now. Sometimes you pray, and like you said, I noticed the hand of the Lord. I was on a plane, and I can't hardly fly because I didn't know I had to wear earplugs. Man, like somebody had an ice pick in my head. And I called the flight attendant. I said, "Can y'all let me on?" He said, not hardly. You ain't getting out. We're in the middle of that. But I was hurting so bad. It wasn't a crowded plane. I leaned down in that seat and I prayed. And I'm talking within a second, the pain just went away. That was the Lord.
Amen.
So Lord, like you said, he knew I needed that right thing. The Lord know what you need when you pray. Go ahead.
Verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven.
He said, Our Father which art in heaven. Go ahead.
Hallowed be thy name.
Holy is thy name. Go ahead.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy what?
Thy kingdom come.
What's going to happen when his kingdom comes?
Thy will be done.
What about?
In earth as it is in heaven.
See? I was talking to this guy one time on the CB radio because I was putting the word out there and he was saying I was a false prophet. And I guess he got so spirit hit him, he started saying the Lord's Prayer. So I told him, I said, man, did you hear what you just said? I said, you said thy kingdom come. I said, what's going to happen when his kingdom come? His will going to be done on earth as it is in heaven. I said, so that means the kingdom is coming, right? You're not going to the kingdom. You know what he said? Oh, you just twisting those scriptures. I just repeated what you just said. But, that's bad when you catch somebody in something. That's why I know this devil is very big. The spirit of wickedness. Man, this guy want to keep you in the dark. Mm-hmm. He want to keep you in the dark. So anything you see, you find a reason not to seek the truth. Said, Brother Melvin came down and had a white suit on. His socks wasn't matching the suit. I ain't coming back to class. You'll find anything when you don't want to hear the truth. And guess who be doing that? That's them spiritual wickedness in high places that's dealing with your mind. Because we read the book in here. So if you got anything against us, it's against God. We read the book to you. Go ahead, brother. What verse we at?
Verse 11.
Go ahead.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Now, that's all as far as I want to go, because I just want to show you that this prayer is repeated in churches probably every Sunday and Saturday. But they don't pay attention to what it's saying. They just get on their knees and Our Father which art in heaven, and they don't pay attention that they're saying thy kingdom gonna do what?
Come.
Don't come. You're not going to the kingdom. We're gonna show you before we get out of this lesson that the kingdom is gonna be right here. Let's go to Matthew 12. The kingdom is coming. And God's will gonna be done on earth. Because God's will is not being done on earth. But his will is being done in heaven, because the guy that was causing all the confusion in heaven, what happened to him? He got a victory. Mm-hmm. And now he's on the earth causing all kind of problems. But when he show up, when Jesus show up on the earth, then he gonna evict this guy again. But This time he's going into the lake of fire because his will going to be done. Matthew 12, and let's pick it up at verse 14. Matthew 12 and verse 14. Matthew 12 and 14. Go ahead. Let's look at this victory.
Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him.
Now he's talking about Jesus.
But when Jesus knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them all. Verse 16, and charged them that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Behold, my servant whom I have chosen.
That's Isaiah. That's what they...
Isaiah.
He's there, but it's Isaiah. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Behold, my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment of the Gentiles.
He's going to do all these things. Go ahead.
Verse 19. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flecks shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory.
Now he gonna do all these things. He say his voice ain't gonna be heard in the street until he said, a bruised reed shall he not break, a smoking flax shall he not quench, until he send forth judgment unto victory. We need to find out what it's gonna be at. This victory. Let's go to Isaiah 42. Because that's who this guy's quoting here. Isaiah 42, and we're going to pick it up at what? Verse 1. 42 and verse 1. Now pay attention to this. Sound like we're going to be reading the same thing, which we are. Isaiah 42 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect.
Now who is God's elect?
Israel.
See, that's another. Now you know. But I'm gonna show you. This ain't talking about Israel, the people. Here, pay attention to this, because somebody else's name is Israel. Pay attention to this. He said, "Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my elect, which is Israel." Go ahead.
In whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
Now you notice he decided to put my spirit upon them, because if you're talking about Israel, the people, he would be saying them, wouldn't he? But he said, I put my spirit upon him, because Israel is God's name. Israel, and that the whole world don't know that Israel is God's name. He said, my elect, I have put my spirit upon him, and he shall bring forth judgment unto the Gentiles. Go ahead.
Verse 2. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street.
Go ahead.
A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flex shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth.
Go ahead.
He shall not fail, nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth, and the hours shall wait for his law.
Wait a minute, you skipped something. Go back and read that again.
Verse 4.
Yeah, you skipped the key something. Go ahead. He
shall not fail, nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth.
Okay, you didn't say in the earth last time. You may roll the tape back. He has set judgment in the where? In the earth. So where's that victory going to be that we read in Matthew going to be at?
In the earth.
It's going to be in the earth. Here, until he set victory unto the earth. They got songs like, we got the victory. You ain't going to get the victory until Jesus comes. And where it going to be at?
In the earth.
In the earth. Go ahead and finish that verse.
And the hours shall wait for his law.
Now the hours shall wait for his law, because this guy, his law, once he get here, his commandments going to be kept for those who think he did away with the law. We going to deal with his law. Let's go to Micah. And let's read, we'll see what Micah said about this thing. I'm telling you, just all over the book that the kingdom going to be here on the earth. But if you said you're not going to heaven, the kingdom going to be on the earth first, what's the first question they going to ask you? Are you Jehovah's Witness? Because you need to watch, you need to pay attention to what they teach, because they say you don't have an opportunity to be on the earth, and if you choose someone, you can stay in heaven. And I ain't read that even close to the Bible. But that's some of the things that they teach. You know, that 144,000 supposed to be up in heaven.
Yeah.
But I always ask them this question: you 144,000, they gonna be Israelites? Because that's who they are. You know, and that 144,000, he said he gives that from 10,000 from each tribe, right? 12,000 from each tribe. I said, oh, okay. At least I know y'all, the Israelites, gonna be the head of y'all church in the future. You know, that's what they teach. But that's people assume when you say you want to be here on the earth that you're Israelite. I mean, Jehovah's Witness. Micah 4, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Let's see what he's saying here. Because all these prophets saying the same thing. Micah 4, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Okay, go ahead.
But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain...
Come out in the last days here. Go ahead.
The mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains.
That's the government. Go ahead.
And it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it.
And they're going to flow to this place. Go ahead. Let's find out where it's at. Go ahead.
And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of God of Jacob.
Now, who is the God of Jacob? Jesus. Go ahead.
And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk into his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion.
Now, where is Zion at? Is that in heaven or in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem.
They got a heavenly Zion, but I'm going to show you this Zion he's talking about is right here on earth. Go ahead.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Because you know why this Zion I can say is on the earth? Because he said, what did he say? He said, many nations shall say, come. And so let's go up to the mountain of the Lord. If it's not on the earth, how you going to go up to heaven? Would they going to have spaceships there and the whole nation can go up to heaven? So come on, let's go out to NASA. But we can go up and go up to the Lord. But no, this is the Zion which is sitting right over there in Jerusalem, in the Middle East. He said they're going to go up to Zion, for the word of the Lord shall come where? From Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Because his will going to be done on earth. Go ahead. What verse was that?
Going to verse 4.
Go ahead, read 4.
But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts have spoken it.
And ain't nobody listening. The mouth of the Lord spoken this. Now let's go in and look at the same thing in Matthew 25. Because what he say he going to do? He say he going to judge among the people and rebuke strong nations afar off. He going to do all this. But somewhere along the way, this went right by the world. Matthew 25, and we're going to pick it up at verse 36. Matthew 25, we're going to pick it up at 31, I'm sorry. Matthew 25, and we're going to pick it up at verse 31. Okay, go ahead.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him.
Wait a minute, when he come, he bringing all the angels with him? Oh. So who's going to be up in heaven then? You gonna be up there with your two wings
in the clouds,
looking for Jesus, and the whole angel. The Father be still up there. He'll be looking. May I help you? You know, he said when the Son of Man come in his glory with all his holy angels with him, what are you going to do?
Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Where's the throne of his glory at? He's going to sit on David's throne. What was David's throne at? In Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Verse 32. And before him shall he be gathered all nations.
Did we just read that? We just read that in Isaiah. In Micah. Go ahead.
And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Now, come on and inherit. But if Jesus ain't they already in the kingdom? But most people don't know. You got to get through Jesus' kingdom before you can get to the Father's kingdom. Because then he said, see, that's people in this verse here. You looking at two kingdoms that he's talking about. The first kingdom, you in, which is Jesus. And he said it's separated. But then when once he is separated, what did he say? He said, those on his right, come, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See, God, this kingdom was prepared for us, but we wasn't ready for the kingdom. Because this man, once Adam was disobedient to God and ate from that tree, you couldn't go in this kingdom. It was prepared for you because God created us to become God. And once this man messed up, he said, no, now you got to go through all this suffering, all this thing that God hadn't prepared for you because you weren't ready for a kingdom like this. Because the kingdom that he's talking about ain't going to be no flesh and blood in it. But that's the kingdom. Now skip down to 41 because let's see what happened to the one that's on the other hand. Verse 41. Go ahead.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Now that was prepared for who?
The devil and his angels.
And you done got into this fire with these guys and wasn't even prepared for you. He prepared what? The kingdom for you from the foundation of the world. But you didn't, you couldn't, you weren't obedient enough in this kingdom before Jesus came. And then when Jesus came, some was still disobedient. So he said, okay, since you like the devil so much, you can hang out with him in his kingdom, his domain, which is the lake of fire. He said, this was prepared for the devil and his angels. God didn't prepare this for you. Let's go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter. Because like he said, surely I would do nothing but reveal my secret unto my prophet. Ain't nobody listening to these secrets. Man, I heard a guy one time, he was laying out some stuff. He was talking real good. I said, oh, this brother sound. And then all of a sudden he went to heaven. I said, you're dealing with another Jesus. It's not the Jesus of the Bible. Daniel 2, and we're going to pick it up at verse 36. Now this is dealing with Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and Daniel's interpreting his dream. We ain't going to get all in. We ain't going there for all that. But this is what happened. Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and he couldn't know how to interpret the dream, but Daniel. So we just going to get down to that part right there. Verse 2 and 36. And let's see can we find the kingdom somewhere in this reading. 2 and 36. Go ahead.
This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings, for the God of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory.
Now the God that gave Nebuchadnezzar a kingdom. Let's find out what his kingdom is at. Go ahead.
And wheresoever the children of men dwell.
Now what do the children of man dwell in?
On earth.
On the earth. So what kingdom did he give Nebuchadnezzar? The earth. The earth is the kingdom. Go ahead.
The beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thy hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold.
That's Babylonian. Go ahead.
Verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Now they're going to bear rule over the earth. So he said the second kingdom is going to be the Medo-Persian. The next kingdom, that third kingdom, is going to be the Greek kingdom, Greek empire. Good. And they're going to do what? They're going to bear rule over the whole earth. We talking about a kingdom here that God gave this whole Gentile dynasty that he done gave a kingdom to. He done gave them to these, we read 3. Let's go on with the 4th one. Go ahead.
Verse 40. And the 4th kingdom shall be strong as iron, For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall they break in pieces and bruise it.
Now you see, these are the, God gave each one of Noah's sons the time to rule this whole earth, except Ham and Shem really didn't rule the whole earth. When it got down to Japheth, which is the seed that the Gentiles come out, he gave them rulership of the whole earth. That's who run this earth today. You know, they run it. Now let's go into Daniel the 7th chapter, and let's see what's going to happen to these kingdoms. Go into Daniel the 7th, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. We're going to see these kingdoms again. Daniel 7, and we're going to pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and a visions, and his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters.
Go ahead.
Daniel spake and said, I saw him in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strode upon the great sea.
Now these four winds represent those four nations that I just named: Babylon, Medo-Persian, Greek, and Rome. Go ahead.
And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
It's talking about the king of Babylon, which was Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead.
Verse 5, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh.
That's the Medo-Persian. Go ahead.
After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Now this is dealing with the Greek. You know, Alexander was a great warrior, but he conquered all these nations, and then he died, and then 4 of his generals took over. That's what them 4 heads represent. There was the Greek Empire. Go ahead.
Verse 7. After this I saw in a night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible.
Now this is Roman Empire. Go ahead.
And strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoureth and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Now go ahead.
And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Now it had 10 horns. Now this is Roman. Now I'm just letting you know that these are the same one that God gave the whole earth over to. This Gentile dynasty we're reading about. Now skip down to verse 15, because Daniel's kind of curious about this thing. Verse 15. Skip down to 15 and go ahead.
I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me.
Now when all this stuff troubled Daniel, go ahead.
I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this.
Go ahead.
So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. Verse 17. These great beasts which are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth.
Because God gave them the earth, right? Amen. We read that in Daniel the 2nd chapter. They're going to rise up out of the earth, and God said, we read that God had given his kingdom to the king of Babylon. Wherever man dwells, he gave his kingdom, which was the earth. Let's see what's going to happen, though. Go ahead.
Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High,
go ahead,
shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
When is they going to go to heaven? So what kingdom is they taking? They taking the kingdom that he gave to Nebuchadnezzar, right? Where was that kingdom at? On the earth. So if the saints going to take the kingdom, once they take the kingdom, let's get on out here and go to heaven now, boy. Don't make sense. I'm talking, what is these people reading? I'm talking, you see how plain, this don't even require no interpretation. This is plain. But this is the biggest thing that's taught and biggest thing that people believe, that they loved one is in heaven. Why? How can something that's not even in the Bible be taught that much in the church? Ain't that some strange stuff? Let's find out what his kingdom going to be that the saints going to take. Skip down to verse 27 and go ahead.
And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven.
It's going to be under the whole heaven. Well, go ahead.
Shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him.
Everybody, this kingdom going to be right here on the earth. I'm telling you, I can't figure out how many times we have to read this. Let's go to Zechariah. Let's read it again. Because he says, surely I ain't going to do nothing but reveal my secret to my prophet. And all these prophets are saying the same thing. Ain't not one prophet in this Bible got off track. So you have to ask. That's why that lesson I do in Ignorance You Worship the Dragon, they don't even know they took the Bible completely off the table. Ain't nobody even saying what you being taught is not even it's not in this book. And ain't nobody paying attention that they done took the Bible off the table. So now when you try to, some old crazy people like us come along, what is wrong with those people? Like I told you, I'm doing something real strange here. And they videoing this. I'm reading from the Bible. Somebody in the church be go, oh my God, they read from the Bible. Call somebody up, say, you know those people read from the Bible. That's why they are caught. And you know I seen on Facebook, they said all Israelite camps are in a cult. And I ain't did what my pastor told me to do. He told me to find PJ that up and send them and tell them, hey, we beg your pardon. We just teaching the word of God. If teaching the word of God make us in a cult, so be it. Because we teaching the word. We in the cult with Jesus. You know, I tell you what, we in the right one. Because, but the world look at that. As soon as you tell, that's why I tell brothers, we got to be, just like the Bible said, we got to be peculiar people. We got to be, because we got to try to convince the world that we read the Bible. And we reading out the Bible, we still got to try to convince you that this is the truth. So we can't, that's why I be telling these brothers, that's why I want something that I stress hard in Israel God. We got to be on one accord. One accord. We got to be on one accord. If a brother come down here and says something different, then somebody check into that brother. Because that's the thing, I push that because sometimes brothers have different opinion about little things. And then I'm glad something that we started doing, a couple of years ago. We started having teachers meetings. And we try to be on one accord with every teacher, and we hook every camp up to this teachers meeting. Because we want to be on one accord, brother. Because there's a lot of people out there, all Israel is not Israel. Amen. And we got to separate ourselves from those groups. Sometimes people get a little upset because you tell brothers, say, man, like I've seen some brothers that go to the Israel of God going to some of these other camps. And you say, well, what's wrong with that? You better check out some of them other camps. Don't teach the same thing we teach. We teach the word of God, and they done went somewhere different with this thing. You better pay attention to that. Now, if you sitting up there grinning with a brother from another camp that's teaching you can have multiple wives, then they going to assume we do that same mess here, and we don't. Do you see how important it is? I ain't telling you that you can fellowship with who you want to, but when you do that, you damaging the Israel of God. Because we trying to put this thing on the table exactly the way the book said do it. And so when you do that, you have to realize what you're doing, because the only something we're going to do here is we about salvation. We ain't about you trying to, if brother wanted to deal with multiple wives And some people, I was looking at some brother, he just had the memorial of blowing the trumpet yesterday.
Lord.
And the brother used to go to the class a long time ago. He didn't even know how to count the regular months. Now he know how to figure out the moon. Then he couldn't count from January to December. Now so you going there, we saying we doing it on the wrong moon. Come on, brother. I can't fellowship with them, brother. Can two walk together unless they agree? Can't do it. You know, Zechariah 14. Let's see what's going to happen here. Zechariah 14 and verse 1. Let's see what Zechariah is saying, because surely he would do nothing but reveal his secret to his prophet. Verse 1, go ahead.
Behold, the day of the Lord shall cometh.
The day of the Lord coming. What do that mean? That means he's coming, right? He's not going. You not going. This guy's coming. Go ahead.
And thy spoils shall be divided in the midst of thee.
Now skip down to verse 4 and go ahead.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives.
Where's the Mount of Olives at?
On earth.
It's on the earth. Go ahead.
Which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley. And a half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south.
Now you know what it just hit my head while I'm standing there. I ain't thought the Spirit spoke to me. Don't tell that lie. It's a spirit. But see, those people don't understand. When you read the Bible, then you have the mind of Christ, and the Spirit that is just your thought, because now you're thinking godly thoughts. Ain't nobody talking to you. You know, God don't talk to me because I'm a teacher. You know when he talked to me? When I open this book and read it. And guess what? When I'm reading and I fall asleep, he stopped talking. Then when I wake back up and start reading, he started talking to me again. So I thought just come to my mind, as all this stuff we read, how do you fit the rapture in it? God gonna come and take the earth down, the saints gonna take the earth, and then we gonna be raptured all together? Don't make sense to it. Why not just take the saints, pluck the saints out, and leave the earth alone? But he has got to kill the wicked and then go to heaven. Like I'm gonna come and just take your house, put you out, and then I go back to my big house in the suburb. Don't make sense to it. And this one is just, I was just, as we read, you can see how misteaching and misled teaching it can be so confused. The rapture doesn't make sense. Why are you taking the earth down if the saints going to live in heaven? Wouldn't make sense. But this guy going to come, his feet going to stand on the Mount of Olives. Where we at in the middle of that verse?
Verse 5.
Go ahead.
And ye shall flee to the mountain, to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah.
Now what the Lord going to do? Go ahead.
And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee.
Now he done brought all. Now we just read earlier that all the angels was coming with him. Now he bringing all the saints. Where did he get all these saints from? They met him in the air. And he brought them right back down to the earth. Verse 9, let's see what he going to be Lord over. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
All the earth? Go ahead.
And that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one.
Right, and that day, because this guy coming, he shall take this earth down, and then he going to set up his kingdom, which is, his kingdom going to be the whole earth, but his headquarters going to be in Jerusalem. So that's how plain and simple this lesson is. You know, let's go to back up to Zechariah 8. I'm talking, what do you do with all this stuff there? Why do, it let me know that a preacher should be, how all the stuff you have to go through to be a doctor? The preacher should have to go through the same thing, because you know why? There's like a doctor trying to save life. That's what a preacher's supposed to be trying to do, save life. But you would get up here and stand before a crowd and misteach them, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to kill the whole congregation. And these preachers got enough nerve to have Reverend Doctor on their name. I'm telling you, they killing all their patients. You know. So I say it should be a qualification. That's why at the Israel of God, but we growing so fast now, so we done fell off that mob. You used to have to sit around 10 years before we even consider you being a teacher. Because that's how long I was there. And I came there as a preacher. Sunday preacher. And took me 10 years before I started going out teaching. And it took me another 10 years to get a hold on exactly what I was teaching. Because I prayed and asked the Lord to give me more wisdom and understanding of this thing. So I've been teaching now for about 10 and a half. I'm at the Israel of God 21 years, so I've been teaching now 11 years. And still don't know it all. You know, still ask the Lord to give me wisdom and understanding about this thing. Give me knowledge about it. But that's why I say it should be a qualification, because you're doing a job that you can kill up a lot of people. And that's what people don't understand. When you stand here, you got a big knife in your hand, and if you teach the people wrong, you kill them. And what makes it so bad at the end, what did the Lord say He's going to say to those people that have been taught wrong? I never knew you. Never knew you. You know, so that's why I think this position should be qualified. You need to be qualified to be in this position. So at the Israel of God, we try to put people in this position because we know how dangerous it is. Zechariah the 8th chapter, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2. Zechariah 8 and 2. Zechariah 8 and 2. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I was jealous for Zion with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury.
Now he's jealous. You know what he's talking about? He's jealous because of the way they do in Israel. We's getting what we deserve, but they done took it to the extreme. So the Lord said, man, I'm a little jealous for Israel. What are you going to do? Go ahead.
Verse 3. Thus saith the Lord, I am returned unto Zion.
Now you know he's speaking from the future. He said, I'm going to return unto Zion. What's going to happen then?
And will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem.
Now you know this ain't never happened yet, have it? Go ahead.
And the Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth.
Is that what Jerusalem called now? So you know this ain't never happened yet. Go ahead.
And the mountain of the Lord of hosts, the holy mountain.
He ain't called that. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age.
Now in Jerusalem now, they got old men and women dwelling in the streets of Jerusalem now. But here the kicker is right here, verse 5. Go ahead.
And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof.
Now, I want to read that. Now we gonna find out how old some of these boys gonna be. Let's go to Isaiah 66. I mean 65, I believe. 65. I'm doing an ad on that. Isaiah 65. Let's see how old these boys gonna be that's gonna be playing in the street. Or is it 66?
65:20.
Huh?
Verse 20. 65.
Now I'm going where he said a child gonna die. Oh yeah, Isaiah 65. 65 and 17. Isaiah 65 and 17. Let's see how old the boys gonna be playing in the street in Jerusalem. How old they gonna be? Isaiah 65 and verse 17. Go ahead.
For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I created.
What is the new creation going to be? Go ahead.
For behold, I create Jerusalem, a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem.
Now he going to rejoice in Jerusalem, because then we just read that his sanctuary is going to be in Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying.
Now this is all future again. Go ahead.
Verse 20. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days.
Now let's see how big them boys going to be that's playing in the street. Go ahead.
For the child shall die 100 years old.
Them some pretty big boys, ain't they? 100 years old. He said, for a child shall die 100 years old. But go ahead.
But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed.
So they let me know it's going to be still some sinning, because what we looking at here is Jesus' kingdom. You still going to have flesh and blood in it. And as long as flesh and blood around, sin going to be around. But because sin is so not rampant, so now once again, man is living to over 900 years again. They ain't gonna get past 1,000. They ain't gonna get past that date. So, but once again, man, I living a long time. So if you living to be 900 years old, and you talking to someone, how old are you, young man? Oh, I'm 98. Boy, you still a child. I don't even know why I'm talking to you. Talk to kids. 90-some years old. But they're going to be a great time when man can live that long. You know, yeah. So, you know, sickness going to be cut in half or cut probably all the way down, because sin bring about physical death too. A lot of people don't know. Sin just don't bring the spiritual death. Sin bring about physical death also. So a child going to live to be 100 years old. Now let's go and look at this promise that Jesus told you that, about Jerusalem. Let's go to John 20. No, John. St. John 8. And we're going to pick it up at verse 20, because he made a promise. And he said he's going to dwell in Jerusalem in the midst of Israel. John 8. And we're going to pick it up at verse 20. Okay, go ahead.
These words spake Jesus in the treasury, as he taught in the temple, and no man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come.
Go ahead.
Then said Jesus again unto them, I go my way, and ye shall seek me, and shall die in your sins. Whither I go, ye cannot come.
He says, where I'm going, you can't come. Go ahead.
Then said the Jews, will he kill himself? Because he said, whither I go, ye cannot come.
Now go ahead.
And he said unto them, ye are from beneath.
Is you from beneath? That's from the earth. Go ahead.
I am from above. Ye are of this world. I am not of this world.
Now he letting them know. He came, what did Jesus say? I came down from heaven. Now he letting these guys say, I'm going to be killed and I'm going to be raised from the dead. I'm going what? Back to heaven. He said, where I'm going, you can't go. But these guys are wicked, ain't they? Let's see what he said to the righteous. Let's go right over to John 13. He's telling these wicked guys, y'all can't go to heaven with me. Well, you say, oh, they sinners, they shouldn't go to heaven. Let's see what he said to his disciples. They walking with him. John 13, and we're going to pick it up at verse 33. John 13 and verse 33. Go ahead.
Little children, yet a little while I am with you.
Now you see how nice he's saying, look, children, just in a little while I'm going to be with you. Go ahead.
Ye shall seek me. And as I said unto the Jews, whither I go, you cannot come.
Now is that hard to understand? He said, where I'm going, you cannot go. He done said it twice. When I leave here tomorrow, where I'm going, y'all cannot go. You can go to Chicago, but you can't come to my house. You can't come there, because I ain't invited you. Where I'm going, when I leave here, you cannot go. You know. So he's telling these guys the same thing he told those sinful Jews. Skip down to verse 36, and Peter don't want to know why. Go ahead.
Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, whither goest thou? Jesus answered him, whither I go, thou canst not follow me now.
Oh, so you we ain't going to go to heaven right now. Let's keep reading. Go ahead.
But thou shalt follow me afterwards.
You're going to follow me after where I'm going. Go ahead.
Peter said unto him, Lord, why cannot I follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. Jesus.
We ain't gonna read Peter opening that. That's when he opened his mouth too wide. Because sometimes we'll say something. Oh man, I died for the Lord. Like I was down. I think I talked about this last time we were down here. You ain't been tried to blood. And Peter found out when you get tried to blood, all of a sudden you get a little fearful, don't you? He got so fearful. Now he telling the Lord, hey man, we with you, brother. What happened to all his disciples when they grabbed Jesus? They fled. Peter hung around for a minute till they say, hey man, he one of them guys. Don't you know Jesus? I don't know the man. Asked him again. So, man, I'm sure you was one. No, I don't know. Then that third time, Peter got to cussing. But we ain't been tried to blood. You know, see you. It's easy to say, oh, man, I'm going to die for the Lord. So somebody rustled in right now. They said, who are they teaching that word? That brother right there. I'm just standing up here doing sign language. You gonna kill somebody. That's the brother right there. So that's what happened, Peter. So we don't even go there today. Because long as you don't have to take that mom, you might tell all kind of stuff. But when you get to that mom, then now you got to I got to die for this thing. That's why I tell people, if your family don't get to the wilderness, which they ain't going, because when you tell them, they'll ask you 5 million questions. And just tell them one something. Don't take the mob. So when they get to that mob, remember I'm telling you today, don't take that mob. Let them cut your head off. That sounds easy, though. Okay. But let's go right into John, the 14th chapter. And this is where I called a preacher one time and said, this is where they go to show you that somebody going to heaven. I don't pick it up here. 14:1. John 14:1. Okay, go ahead.
Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God, believe also in me.
Now this is Jesus talking. Go ahead.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you.
I'm going to prepare a place for you. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again.
He's going to leave and then he's going to come again. He didn't say he was going to send for you, did he? He said, I go to prepare a place for you, I will come again. Go ahead.
And receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also.
He said, that where I am, you may be also. Now we need to find out where he's going to be. This is what I was trying to tell this preacher. Let's just let the Bible tell us where this guy going to be at. Let's go to Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Man, this is an easy lesson. See, if I was still in the Sunday church, I'd put it on a big, beautiful paper. I'd put it in the store, and you could buy this something. That's how easy it is to teach, because it's real easy. That's what a lot of preachers, they buy this something. Y'all do know that, right? That's why you can hear someone preaching the same thing across the board. And it all be wrong. Because they bought that something. But let's find out what it is. He said, where I am, you gonna be also. Revelation 5, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 20. Revelation 5 and 20. Go ahead. He said, where I am, you will be also. Revelation 3.
Three.
Man, you have to watch this reading. He confusing y'all, ain't he? Revelation 3 at verse 20. What did you thought I said?
You said 5. I knew you said 3.
I'm going to roll the tape back. Okay, go ahead. Revelation 3 and verse 20. Go ahead.
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
He said, I'm standing at the door and knock. What door is he standing at? The door of your mind. He's knocking with his word. He said, let my word in. Go ahead. Because what's going to happen if you let this word in?
If any man hear my voice and open the door.
Now how you going to hear his voice through his word? Go ahead.
I will come into him, and he will sup with him, and he with me.
Go ahead.
To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne.
He said, him that overcometh, I will grant to him to sit with me in my throne. Go ahead.
Even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne.
Now, whose throne did he promise you? His throne. He said, if you overcome, he didn't say if you overcome, I'm going to let you sit in my Father's throne. He said he overcome and he went and sat in the Father's throne, which is where? In heaven. But he didn't promise you that. He said, if you overcome, I will grant you to sit with me in my throne. We need to find out where his throne going to be at. Because he didn't promise the Father's throne. That's where he sat down at. He didn't tell you I'm going to bring you up here and set you in the Father's throne. Let's go find out let's run this thing down. Luke 1. This is what we call, when we do those lessons, the Bible speak. This is what the Bible is doing right now. The Bible is telling you the whole story. Luke 1, and we're going to pick it up at verse 26. Luke 1 and verse 26. Okay, go ahead.
And in the 6th month, the angel of Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary.
Wait a minute now. He was sent. This was unwise, wise brothers see. Wait a minute now. The angel was sent to Mary in what month? The 6th month. Now we're gonna use the Julian calendar. What is that? That's June. Then you get to figure out, 9 months from now, that's when Jesus was born. Wow. But why don't we back up and do some reading? Back up. Because he's saying in the 6th month. I'm going to show you why he's saying in the 6th month. We're going to deviate off the lesson for a little bit because I'm saying this because a brother had started telling some people this. That, now I can put the 9 months from the 6th month, what you 3D, what Jesus was born, around March or something? That's what you thinking. But let's go back and read. Let's go up and read. Let's go up to, let's go back up to verse 19. Let's start it there. Start at verse 19 and read. Go ahead.
And the angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel that stand in the presence of God.
Now he's talking to Zechariah because he said, this is John the Baptist's father. Go ahead.
And am sent to speak unto thee and to show thee these glad tidings. And behold, thou shalt be dumb and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season.
Now you ever want to know when they said don't vex the Holy Ghost? Zechariah vexed this guy. And what did he do to him? He couldn't talk for 9 months. So that's when they talk about don't vex. How you vex the Holy Ghost? By when you read his words, you don't believe it. Because he brought Zechariah and said, your wife's going to be pregnant. How do I know this? Because I told you, I'm Gabriel. And he shut this guy down. But skip down to verse 24. And go ahead and read.
And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months.
Now she hid herself for 5 months, right? Go ahead.
Saying, thus hath the Lord dealt with me indeed in the days wherein he looked on me to take away my reproach among men.
Go ahead and read.
And in the 6th month.
Then the 6 months of what? That's in the 6 months of what? Elizabeth's pregnancy. So you don't know when Elizabeth got pregnant. So how can you figure, if God wants you to know Christmas people, he would have gave you the day he was born. But see, some people, brothers saw this, but it's talking about the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy. What month did Elizabeth get pregnant in? She could have got pregnant in November, 6 months later. So that's why you have to read You know, like in my Bible, that's the start of a little new chapter, but it's not. That's why I went back and read that. So now we know we're talking about the 6 months of Elizabeth pregnant. That's when Mary got pregnant, right around that same time. Go ahead and read.
The angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph, of the house of David, and the virgin's name was Mary.
Now skip down to verse 30 and go ahead.
And the angel said unto her, Fear not, Mary, for thou hast found favor with God. And behold, thou shalt conceive in thy womb, and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus.
She'll call his name Jesus. Now, that's what he's telling Mary, that she gonna have a son. Go ahead.
Verse 32. He shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall give unto him the throne of his father David.
So he gonna give David's throne to Jesus, right? But ain't that the one Jesus? I'm gonna let you sit with me in my throne. So the throne that we got to sit on with Jesus got to be David's throne, because that's the one that he promised you. He promised you that. And let's see that David ever take his throne into heaven. You know, let's go to Acts the 2nd chapter. Maybe David took his throne to heaven one day, and we missed it. Acts 2, and we're going to pick it up at 29. We're going to read into it. Acts 2 and 29. This is Peter talking to these brothers. And he's letting you know he's talking about Jesus instead of David. Acts 2 and verse 29. Go ahead.
Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us until this day.
Now skip down to verse 30. Wait a minute, what verse was that?
That was
29?
That was 29.
Skip down to verse 34 and go ahead.
For David is not ascended unto the heavens.
Wait a minute. David didn't ascend into heaven, but your mama went on. I ain't trying to say nothing bad about your mama, but David was a man after God's own heart. Every king that sat on the throne after David, God judged them according to what David did. He said, you didn't follow me like your father David. So if this guy couldn't ascend to heaven, what makes you think your mom and daddy can go? Your mom and daddy was just like me. I'm good, trying to be good now, but I used to be wicked as don't know what before I came in here. So that's why he said David haven't ascended into heaven. So if he ain't ascended into heaven, his throne is still sitting right over there in Jerusalem. He said go ahead and finish that verse.
For David is not ascended unto the heavens, but he saith himself, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, until I make thy foes thy footstool. Now, that's verse 34? That was 35.
35, okay. Now I want to go back now. Let's go back to the 30th verse. Go back to the 30th verse. Go ahead.
Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God has sworn with an oath.
Now he's talking about David, but David therefore being a prophet, and God has sworn unto an oath unto him. Go ahead.
To him that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
Now who's going to sit on David's throne? He's going to raise up Christ to sit on it. I went back and read that to show you. He's going to raise up Christ to sit on his throne. That's who he's going to raise. Let's go and see if we find that again. He said he promised this to David, right? He swore unto David with an oath. Let's look at this oath. Let's go to Psalm 132. Oh, man, I ain't got... Oh, I got a few more. I don't want to give you that much hope. Psalms, 132?
132.
I had to keep eye on you. Psalm 132, and we going to pick it up at verse... Because he didn't sworn David with an oath. Let's pick it up at verse 1. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. 132 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Lord, remember David and all his afflictions, how he sware unto the Lord and vowed unto the mighty God of Jacob. Surely I would not come into the tabernacle of my house, nor go up into my bed. Verse 4. I would not give sleep to my eyes, or slumber to my eyelids, until I find out a place for the Lord, and habitation for the mighty God of Jacob.
Now Jacob had him a house built of cedar, living good. And he said, I can't go to sleep until I find out a house for my Lord. He said, David wanted to build a house for the mighty God of Jacob. He said, I can't rest until I do this. Skip down to verse 10 and go ahead.
For thy servant David's sake, turn not away the face of thy anointed. The Lord hath sworn in truth unto David, he will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne.
Now who is this talking? He said, of the fruit. He said, the Lord hath sworn in truth unto David. He will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I. Who is this will I? That's Jesus. Go ahead.
If thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forevermore.
He's making another promise there. Go ahead.
Verse 13. For the Lord hath chosen Zion. He hath desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it.
Now why all of God's servants don't desire this? The Lord desired to live where? In Jerusalem. Because he know he's going to sit on David's throne. Why do people that's supposed to be following Jesus want to go to heaven? I'll probably read it before we get out of this lesson. But if you follow the Jesus of the Bible, shouldn't your desire be the same thing? If you follow him, you should have the same desire. Let's go back to Revelation 20, because he said your children will sit up on thrones forevermore. Let's go back to Revelation 20. Let's look at that from it. I can't get you to heaven. I'm sorry. I know somebody that got a little plan. I don't know if he can get you there, but he got a plan. We're going to read about it. Revelation 20, and we're going to read verse 4. Then we're going to skip. Revelation 20 and verse 4. Go ahead.
And I saw thrones.
And I saw thrones. Go ahead.
And they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them.
Well, these people in judgment was judgment given unto them. These people's doing the judgment. Go ahead.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God.
Now, how do you cut the head off a soul you came to see? Because the soul and the body is the same thing. And you don't have no soul inside of you. When you die, your soul, gone, do whatever you do. Because I read in Leviticus where he said, for soul sin. So that means once I die, my soul just we keep sinning. Because they don't understand that the body and the soul is the same thing. I'm talking. You see all the little stuff that we have to explain that people should understand this. But you're going to tell somebody they don't have a soul inside of them, they're going to give you a run for your money. Because you got preachers preaching that when you die, your body go to the ground, your spirit go to the Lord. Where do the soul go? I'm going to have to ask some preachers, where do that soul go? The body go in the ground, spirit go to the Lord. Now you got a soul riding. Oh, no wonder he's still sin. He didn't get buried. Because Leviticus speaks about if a soul sins with his lips, what a soul doing all this sinning? Because the soul and the body is the same thing. It's so much stuff that's elementary in here. It's actually trigonometry to the world. That's how hard it is. What we in the middle of that verse?
Middle of verse 4.
Go ahead.
And which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years.
Now they live and reign with Christ 1,000 years. This is this seventh day that they dealing in. This is the time that he gonna rule on this earth for 1,000 years before the ones on his right hand he gonna say, come on, inherit the foundation from the kingdom from the foundation of the world, the Father's kingdom. They're gonna be living. That's why a child at that time gonna be 100 years old, because they're gonna be 1,000 years. Skip down to verse 6 and go ahead.
Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
Now they're going to be priests of God and of Christ, and they shall reign with him 1,000 years. Revelation 5. Let's see where they're going to reign with. Because he's going to make them kings and priests, right? And they're going to rule with him for 1,000 years. Let's see what the Bible said they're going to rule at. 5 and verse 8. 5. Revelation 5, and we're going to pick it up at verse 8. Revelation 5 and verse 8. Go ahead.
And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps, golden vials, full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints.
Go ahead.
And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
All these are Israel. All these are Israelite nation, right? No, he said all nations. This is all nations, all people. I'm saying this because you got some Israelite group out there teaching that ain't nobody going to be saved but Israel. When you talk to them, if you got a clear plan, run. Get further you away from them as possible, because they teaching you in error. You know, they teaching, they saying something, but they don't even know what they saying. All Israel gonna be saved. Ain't nobody gonna be saved but Israel. But you need to clarify it. Because a Hamite, once he's drafted in among Israel, what is he? He is Israel. Once a Gentile is drafted in among Israel, what is it? Israel. So all Israel going to be saved, both physically. Even Israel got to be
spiritual Israel.
Spiritual. So yeah, ain't nobody going to be saved but Israel, but they're going to be out of every nation on the planet, every son of Adam. That's what they ain't making clear. Ain't nothing but Israel going to be saved, because God is the king of what? Israel. And he going to set over his people, but it's going to be all people. That's why he said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Because we all got to do the same thing. That's what that they done jumped on this thing and seen this. That's why Paul wrote, all Israel is not Israel. Because the Israel that's not Israel is the one that he's talking about. Not Israel, is the spiritual Israel. Because guess what? You got to become spiritual Israel. Because you being physical Israel cannot get you in the kingdom. You know. So that's why he say God, by the blood of Jesus, from all kindreds, tongues, and peoples and nations, from all over. That's every nation, black, white, whatever nation. Go ahead. What are you going to do with us?
Verse 10. And has made us unto our God kings and priests.
Then we read that, kings and priests. What we going to reign at?
And we shall reign on the earth.
I'm talking. How many times do I have to read? Did I tell you all? God said, surely I would do nothing but reveal my secret to my prophet. He revealed it to him, and he done put it in a book, but you don't believe it. You don't believe this. You get up tomorrow if you got time to just go sit and see how many times somebody. No. Go to a funeral, and just see how many times Sister Hattie gonna be in heaven. Oh, Sister Hattie. Oh, first the kids gonna get her. Mama, I know you in heaven. Then the nieces and the nephews. Oh, Auntie, I know you in heaven looking down. Everybody gonna put that woman in heaven. Matter of fact, somebody made a comment on Facebook. Said, they finna put a Rita in heaven. And some woman typed in and said, what you saying? Rita can't go to heaven? And somebody had to break it on down and explain to us. Said, no, ain't nobody going to heaven. It ain't no knock on a Rita. I said, but she didn't have a clue. She act like what he was saying. Oh, Luther did something. No, that ain't what the brother was saying. He just letting you know, ain't nobody going to heaven. And the woman was offended by it. You know, people's in heaven looking down on their loved one. I'm looking down on my wife, and she used to tell me Leroy was her cousin. Now I'm looking down from heaven, her and Leroy in the bedroom. I'm in heaven, mad God, talking, hey, Saint, no, hold up. So now I caught hell on the earth. Now I'm up in heaven looking down. Now I'm catching hell looking down at Leroy in there with my wife all them years. I thought Leroy was her cousin. I thought, you see how crazy that is? I don't want to see. If there was, I don't want to see. Keep me in the ground. I like what he said. I'm going to raise you up at the last day. Because you'll be sitting up in heaven, you can't do nothing about Leroy. Oh, I thought old Melvin wasn't going to never die. And not to mention, Leroy owed me some money. So I'm just showing you how all this could be if it's like the way they think. Mama in heaven looking down. Mama don't want to be in heaven. I know I wouldn't want to be looking down. Because you're going to see something that you ain't saw before. And you're going to be unhappy in heaven. Get so mad, take your wings off, throw them on the ground. Let's go on. Let's go to Matthew 25. Let's look at this kingdom again. But I just like to throw that out there just to let you know, see how crazy that would be. If you in heaven smiling, looking down, and everybody, you know, they said this at funeral. And they be for real. Mm-hmm. Yep. Matthew 25, and we're going to pick it up at 31. Matthew 25 and 31. I don't know why I put that in there twice, but I got to read it. Matthew 25 and 31. Go ahead.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Go ahead.
And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. And as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left.
Okay, go ahead.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Now, skip down to verse 41. We're going to read it again. Go ahead. Then the left, people's on the left hand. Go ahead.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Now, the reason why I read that again, I want to take you back on. Now, this is the end of Jesus' kingdom. This is the end of Jesus' kingdom. Now let's go back to Revelation 20 and let's look at this thing again. This is the end of because he said he'll set the wicked on one side, he'll set the righteous on and prepare to let them into the kingdom from the that was set up from the foundation of the world. Revelation 20, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 12 this time. We're gonna read two verses. Revelation 20 and verse 12. And I got three more places after this. Revelation
20.
Well, 4 places. Revelation 20 and verse 12. Okay, go ahead.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were open. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
According to their works. And some of the people teach you don't have to have no work. The Lord going to be judged according to his work. That's another error that, you don't have to do no work. Well, he judged you according to your work. Skip down to verse 15 and go ahead.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Who was the one that was on his left hand that was reading about? So he said, whoever, if you not in the first resurrection, and you come up in this resurrection, he said, And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast in the lake of fire. So if your name ends in Jackson, your name ends with a J, you Jackson, and he way down calling in Porter. Apparently you ain't in the book of life, is you? Because he said, whoever name wasn't found in the book, now I'm pretty sure he gonna do it right in order. You know, Johnny, smell. Then he skipped, okay, my name is F, my name is last name is start in with F. He skip all the way down. He skip all the way down to Quincy. so your name ain't written in that book. So guess what you had to look forward to? The lake of fire. And this is the end of Jesus' kingdom. This is this 1,000 years that you're the one that got it right, lived and reigned with him for 1,000 years. Now what happened after that? Go right on into Revelation 21. This is this kingdom that he's been talking about that was prepared for you from the foundation of the world. This is the Father's kingdom. But you hear people when they talk about going to heaven, what they talk about, they're going to walk on those streets paved with gold. But you got to get through that dirt kingdom in Jerusalem first. Mm-hmm. So this is the Father's kingdom we finna read about now. Go ahead. Revelation 21 and 1. Go ahead.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Now we read that in Isaiah when you saw a new heaven and earth, but that was Jesus when he created New Jerusalem. And that was on earth. And this one that he had prepared for you, that he went and prepared for you, this kingdom is not on earth at this time. But when we read about it, we're going to show you what's going to happen. Go ahead.
And there was no more sea. Verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
And you know the guy told me, he said, well, that don't say it's coming down to the earth. I said, well, what is coming down? What, it just stop? I said, but if you keep reading, he let you know it's coming down to the earth. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Now I have to verify this because you got some of the most smart Israelites. He said, behold, and this is kingdom coming down. Where you gonna be? He said, behold, the tabernacle of God will be with man, and he will dwell with them. What do man dwell in? On earth. But some old smart Israelite gonna say, at that time ain't no man exist. But the reason why he's telling you that, which it won't be no man after Jesus threw everybody in the lake of fire, the one that's going to be turned to God. So when the Father's kingdom come down, it ain't going to be. What did Jesus tell Nicodemus? You can't even see the kingdom. He said, unless you're born again, you can't even see the kingdom of God. This is the kingdom he's talking about you can't see as a man. And when this kingdom come down, ain't going to be no man left. But he used man here for you to give you a geographical location where the Father's kingdom going to be. The Father's kingdom going to be where man used to dwell. But ain't no man going to be dwelling here when the Father's kingdom come down, because ain't no more man in existence no more. He have abolished flesh and blood. So that, now you know the kingdom going to be on the earth, because the kingdom going to be where man used to dwell. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Passed away. Skip down to verse 10 and go ahead.
And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem,
go ahead, finish that verse.
Descending out of heaven from God.
Now what do descending mean? Mean it's coming down. Man, I heard this one guy, he getting a lot of popularity of late. And he don't even understand. He carried me away in the spirit. In other words, he carried him away in the spirit of his mind. This brother thinking that he's full of, he's going somewhere else with them. And that's why I don't listen to him. Listen to me. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
Listen. Don't know nothing. He have absolutely no knowledge. And some people on Israel or God, I look over his rail page, I see them sitting up on his rail page. I'm like, why are you on this guy's rail page? This guy don't have no knowledge. We don't even when you have to do that, you have to, if God didn't make pain and you don't point out a soul, then you won't even know you got a wound if he didn't put the hurt in. And sometimes, because a lot of people think this brother is teaching right. This brother ain't teaching right. He ain't got no knowledge. Ain't I'm right about it. I know what I'm talking about. So I just had to say that because a lot of people think because in these last days, what's going to happen? A lot of false prophets going to rise. And you got to be able to point them out. I ain't trying to put nobody down, but I'm trying to help my people. Amen. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. What verse we at?
Starting at verse 11.
Go ahead.
Having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
What was Peter saying that? Because Peter was at a pearly gate. We gonna run across some pearly gates, but Peter going to have to be standing at what? 12 gates. But what he said, God is giving you a hint. He said he's gonna have a high wall. He said, in the name written there, which are the name of the 12 tribes of Israel. He giving you a little heads up here. If you're going to get in this kingdom, who you got to go through? You got to go through Israel.
Amen.
You got to go through Israel. Skip down to verse 21 and go ahead.
And the 12 gates were 12 pearls.
Now, which one of them gates was Peter standing by? Do you know? Did you teach? Did you know people used to teach Peter, when you get to heaven, Peter going to be standing at them pearly gates? He gonna be. I guess he's on certain days he's standing at the gate of Dan. Then you come back next week, he over by Naphtali's gate. Because it's more than how many gates we got a pearl? Go ahead, read it again.
And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass.
See, to get to the east street, you got to get to Jesus' kingdom. That just show you the average world don't even know when once we get there, we're gonna be on them streets of gold. They don't know they got to go through Jesus' kingdom, that street of dirt, asphalt, bricks. Before you get to these streets of gold. Skip down to verse 24 and go ahead.
And the nations of them which are saved.
The nation, not just Israel, but the nation of them that which were saved, what?
Shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it.
Because it's not the earth, the kingdom is the earth. That's where everything going to be. Revelation 12. Let's go to Revelation 12, right? Back up to Revelation 12. The Father's kingdom going to be on earth. Jesus' kingdom going to be on earth. But let's see this guy that's trying to get you somewhere else. Let's see, can we run him down? Revelation 12, and we're going to read, start at verse 7. Revelation 12, and we're going to start at verse 7. Because all the kingdom that we done read about, the righteous going to inherit the earth. You're going to rule with Christ on the earth. And I could have read to you that set thrones in the house of David on the earth. Everything we done read about today is on the earth. Now let's deal with this guy that's messing with the people's mind. Let's go to Revelation 12, and we're going to pick it up at verse 7. Okay, go ahead.
And there was war in heaven.
War in heaven. Go ahead.
Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Now this is real Star Wars right here. Because this is in heaven. And these guys were throwing out some haymakers. You just would have been, if flesh and blood got in the way, they've been gone just like that. Because these are mighty beings fighting against other mighty beings. He said it was a war in heaven. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven.
So in other words, the dragon lost, the devil lost. Go ahead, what happened to him?
And the great dragon was cast out.
He was cast out, go ahead.
That old serpent.
That was the one in the Garden of Eden, the old serpent, go ahead.
Called the devil.
That's all his titles here, go ahead.
And Satan, which deceived the whole world.
He done deceived the whole world, not part of the world. This guy done deceived the whole world. Unto all these intelligent people look at Egypt sitting in the heart of Africa, but they think Moses led a whole bunch of white people out of Africa. He done deceived them. Because we won't think. This guy, he said, what? He have deceived the whole world. Go ahead. What happened to him?
He was cast out into the earth.
No, he was cast down into hell where he got a big old furnace down there burning people. He was cast where? Into the earth. Go ahead.
And his angels were cast out with him.
Now he was cast out into the earth. Let's go to Ezekiel 28. Because this guy was cast out into the earth. He's pretty mad. But he's wiser than Daniel because he knows his end. His end gonna be the lake of fire. He knows it. So he's trying to get many as he can to be in that fire with him. And guess what? People's enrolling every week. I want to go to the fire. Because when you be trying to talk to them out of the fire, they get mad at you. Family members. And they don't realize when you try to bring this word to people, that's what people, when you tell me ain't no love amongst Israel, you don't know what love is. Because when you go to your family and tell them, hey, you doing this thing wrong. Why are you doing that? Because you love your family member. When you tell your co-workers on the job, why are you doing this? Because you love your co-workers, people you work with, you don't want to see. Who's so rotten want to see somebody in the lake of fire? So if that ain't love, like spreading the word of God, ain't no such thing as love. You know, it's a whole lot of love among the Israel of God. When I look out on Facebook, people are putting stuff out there every day. Right people trying to convince them to see this thing. Why are they doing that? Because they love God's people. And they want them to get the right understanding. I know I don't want to see nobody in that lake of fire. And guess what? I know it's for real. Because I know this book is for real. So, yeah, that's the love that we spread. Ezekiel 28, and we're going to pick it up at verse 12. Ezekiel 28 and verse 12. Because this guy got thrown out of heaven. Let's look at it. Go ahead.
Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty.
Now he's talking to the king of Tyrus, but he's not talking to the king of Tyrus. He's talking to the guy behind the king of Tyrus. Just like when you talking to your family member and they talking crazy about this book, then you know, that's why you know you're dealing with spiritual wickedness in high place. So he's not talking to the prince of Tyrus, because what man you know is perfect in beauty? Go ahead.
Verse 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God.
Now, who all was in the garden of Eden? It was the tree of life, which is Jesus. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, which was the dragon, the devil. Adam and Eve. When was the prince of Tyre there? He wasn't there. Because he ain't talking to the prince of Tyre. He's talking to the dragon here. Go ahead. He said, thou hast been in the garden of Eden. Go ahead.
Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold, and the workmanship of thy tabrets, and thy pipes were prepared in thee in the day that thou was created.
That old boy was a pretty fancy dresser. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee, so thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire.
Now this is what this guy used to do. He was living large up in heaven. He said, you done did this. You done walked up and down in the midst of the fire. Go ahead. What verse was that?
Verse 15.
Go ahead.
Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created.
See, God don't make no flaws. He said, thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created. Like when he created man, Adam and Eve, a guy was asking a question of us, said, I said, if Adam and Eve wouldn't have sinned against God, they was perfect in their way. And just like this guy. Until now people, well, man is concealing sin. I said, that's after the fact. That's what, because if sin went in the world until Adam allowed it to come in the world, then what would make him not imperfect? He just wasn't perfect enough to be God. He was perfect enough. God created man perfect, and man found a way to corrupt himself. Go ahead.
Ending in verse 15. Till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire.
How did he cast him out? Michael threw him out. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Thy heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee, behold.
You notice again, he said he's going to cast him to the ground, not into hell where he got a domain. He's going to cast him to the ground and do what?
I will lay thee before kings, and they that they may behold thee.
Now you know why this guy is mad? Because you see all the stuff he was walking among. He was walking around in heaven. He was the big shot because he was the light bringer. He was under his name Lucifer, which means light bearer. In other words, the job that gave a guy, Lucifer was supposed to be the one to do this job. But God found iniquity in his angel, and then he threw him out. And you can imagine somebody in here, man, he owned all kind of buildings. I done come down to this little old church and they put me out. His whole thing, one day I'm going to come back. And this is what this guy is. Let's go to Isaiah 14. This is the last place. This guy want to go back. But I'm going to show you something, though. He just want to go back to show off. You know why I know? I'm going to show you he just want to show off. And he just want to say, look, I'm back. And in the process, he want to go back. He got all his followers want to do the same thing that he want to do. Let's read what he want to do. But I'm going to show you this guy just going. He want to go back because he want to. Can you imagine you're in a club, hottest club in town. They put you out of the club. So you never come back up in here. Then all of a sudden you get enough money, you buy the club. And you pop back up in there. This is what this guy is doing. On the same attitude. Isaiah 14 and 12. But I'm going to show you. He know ain't nothing going on in heaven, but he won't tell his followers. He know ain't nothing going on. I'm going to show you that he know. Verse 12, go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
We know how he fell. Micah threw him out. Go ahead.
Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Go ahead.
For thou hast said in thy heart,
thou hast said in thy heart,
I will ascend into heaven.
But we ain't read nowhere where God has said he gonna take you to heaven with him. We ain't read that. This is the only guy in the whole book that want to go to heaven. Jesus said, I long desire to live well in Zion. But this guy said, I will ascend into heaven. Go ahead.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Go ahead.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
That one got him thrown out. Go ahead.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Now he gonna be brought down to the sides of the pit, but all his followers, what do they want to go? They want to go to heaven. But we done read all day that the kingdom gonna be where?
On earth.
You think the devil don't know that? Did y'all miss it? Let's go back and read it then. Read that 13th verse.
For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also.
Look what he said. I will what?
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Now he want to go to heaven. Why do he want to sit here? But let's go and find out what he's talking about. Let's go to Psalm 48. Because he said he's going to sit on the sides of the north. So I'm going to heaven because I want to show out. I'm coming back. He is going to show out up there. But look what he said. I'm also going to sit where? On the side of the north. Psalm 48 and verse 1. Because this guy is smarter than that. He know ain't nothing happening in heaven, but he won't tell his followers. Verse 40, this is the last place. Verse 48 and 1. Go ahead.
Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised in the city of our God.
Go ahead.
In the mountain of his holiness.
Go ahead.
Beautiful for situation. The joy of the Lord, the joy of the whole earth is
don't you read that fast. Joy of the whole earth is what?
It's Mount Zion.
It's Mount Zion. Where is that?
On the sides of the north and the city of the great king.
Didn't he say also I'm going to sit on the sides of the north? Because he know the kingdom going to be on the earth. He just want to go up to heaven to show off that new outfit or something. But he won't tell his followers that ain't nothing happening ever. Because he said, I'm also going to sit on the side of the north. Where's the side of the north at? That's in the whole joy of the earth is in Mount Zion. He said, a city of a great king. Who is that great king?
Jesus.
Jesus. So brothers and sisters, at the end of the day, thy kingdom will come.
Amen.
And once his kingdom comes, guess what's going to happen? His will going to be done on earth, just like his will was done in heaven. And just like he kicked out the troublemaker in heaven, when he get to the earth, he's going to kick out the troublemaker.
Amen.
And they're going to end up in the lake of fire with their master, which is the devil. So brothers and sisters, the kingdom will be on earth. And I hope everybody got some understanding out of this lesson, and you see how simple this lesson was. So I thank you for your time.
Amen.
Now we have the announcement.